All right, guys, this is Dr. John Shea. It is Sunday, September 13th. We're well past day 7, probably counting as day 8 of this Bobcat fire. And as you can see, it's getting pretty dramatic. This is a shot of Mount Wilson over the past 6 hours on a time lapse. And you can see the fires are actually, oh my gosh, it's actually starting to really show up there. So anyway, wanted to show you that really quick, get your attention. But we're looking at this and we're all just wondering, here's the fire, it's coming in to us. It's already hitting these parts of northern parts of Monrovia, the Trask Boy Scouts camp. And now we're going over here, Chantry Flats here above Arcadia. We know the fires hit those areas, but a lot of the stuff that we're using, these tools, it may not be that accurate because these are based on satellite detections. We want to know what's going on the ground. So we're going to start looking at cameras, and Mount Harvard has a camera, and I'm going to show you that. Again, we're looking at this fire marching forward here to the west, and we are taking in consideration what's the surface fuels. You're looking here, the purple stuff is basically hardwood litter, timber understory, compact timber litter. That's like firewood, just sitting on the ground. In fact, in those areas, it's about 67 years worth of firewood that's just sitting there and it's ready to burn. And so it's no wonder it's moving in that direction. But when you look at this area here, we don't see as much of that hardwood timber litter. It's more of just chaparral and grasses. And the explanation for that is because when I back this out here, there was a fire in this area called the Kinneloa fire of 1993, but that's still 27 years. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully we don't have to find out, but if this is going to burn. And some of us are really concerned because we live along this area leading up to Kinneloa Mesa, as well as Altadena and part of Monrovia in this area. And this is other parts of Monrovia here, Sierra Madre over here. So we're looking at this and we're just hoping that maybe there's some protection from that old fire from 27 years ago. And we can see that, well, certainly it's going to burn a lot here in the timber, but in the grasses and the chaparral, perhaps it won't burn as much, and it'll be a little easier to control. Also, the grasses here above Sierra Madre, if this fire extends into it, the fire crews are now able to engage it. So I'm going to go over here, and a lot of these maps now, I don't know how accurate these things are because the satellite detections, this is Sierra Madre, here's Baldwin Avenue, and we kind of see this is over here. It's not quite showing up, but we actually are seeing things in that area. I wanted to show you something as well. This is a picture I took from earlier today when I went to go pick up dinner, and I drove down foothill, Sierra Madre Boulevard over to Baldwin. This is about one street before Baldwin, and just looking straight up from downtown Sierra Madre, looking north from Baldwin and Sierra Madre Boulevard, you have this fire. You can see that glow behind the ridge there. So we know it's reached this area at the very least, at least at that time, which is about 7:30 or so earlier today. So I just wanted to show you that. So we know there's something going on. So what do we trust? How do we know what's going on? And so I started to look at this new website as a tool, and I think it's very useful. It's called Alertwildfireorg. And what you can see here are different cameras that you can pick. Like this is an Arcadia camera, and it's facing this area below Chantry Flats. And I'm going to see how that looks. There you go. You see the fire burning around that area up to this road. And this right here you see on the right screen, this is the view, what the direction of the camera. You see this fire is coming around on the edge. It's coming around two edges, and it's encircling the area. Now I think they're zooming out with the camera. Now it's circled the area. They zoomed out some more. And you can see how that fire is just progressing. So that's what this camera is showing. And so we already know the fires hit this area. We already know from the reports they're fighting this area. But wanted to show you these cameras up here that I'm moving my mouse over. And this one here, this is Mount Harvard. And it's looking at 81 degrees over. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to play over a time lapse over the past 6 hours. And looking east from Mount Howard, you can already see what's happening. And this is consistent with what we would expect if I saw that glow of the fires above Baldwin. And this is about 7:50 p.m. Looking at the time, 8 o'clock p.m. You can see that's burning and it's progressing. So it's definitely moving westward towards Mount Howard and Mount Wilson. And I'm going to just show the other camera from Mount Harvard, and is looking slightly northeast more. Let's just see what that looks like. And so we can see there's a lot of that red smoke and then on the right side here, we see this is the direction. So we know there's fire up in this area. And we would expect that because this area, as we showed earlier, has a lot of the timber fuels that need to be burned. And you can tell from these videos and the pictures, you see a lot of those trees there. That's 7:20s. It's already getting real smoky there, 7:30 p.m. Almost 8 o'clock. We don't see too much there. I'm going to go to Mount Wilson East. And let's look at Mount Wilson over the past 6 hours. And you see the observatory, and you definitely see this coming up. You see where the smoke is just pouring out. And so it's marching towards Mount Wilson. I mean, this is really getting close, and it's getting real. If it wasn't real for you already, there's no denying this, that it's moving this way. And it's kind of what we're expecting, though. We've been looking at the progress of the fire. We've been looking at how the terrain is hard to defend. You can't even get crews up in there. You look in this picture here, these are all just a lot of trees, and over the years, over 67 years, there's a lot of timber that's built up on the ground there, a lot of fuel. And so that's confirmed that. So I'm going to go back here to this map. So this is Mount Harvard, where the cameras were pointed, like we were looking at from this map. So that's Mount Wilson. This is Mount Harvard. Looking to the east, where we saw a lot of this going on. So we know it's marching right up to Mount Harvard in this area. And then on the map here, we see Mount Harvard. We see all of this going on. We do see the timber that's all over this area here, this purpleness, which indicates a hardwood litter and compact timber litter right in this area. So it's going to be burning up towards this area. And we still see it above there. Here's Sierra Madre Boulevard comes around here. The slightly diagonal is Baldwin. And so when I went over to this area to look from this point looking north, we saw a glow on the picture here. And so that basically confirms the consistency of what we saw here, look with the cameras from Mount Harvard. So you kind of have to use multiple things here. I'm using the satellite imaging that tries to pick up hot spots. Maybe that's accurate. In general, it's decent to give an idea, but when we're now looking at fires that are close to our home, I think having some of these cameras here that are in these strategic locations does give us a better indication. And as well, these updates, this is City of Monrovia again, and they did say that as of 8 o'clock p.m., it's 33,000 acres, 6% containment, 888 personnel assigned, 78 engines, 17 hand crews, 5 helicopters, 4 aircraft, 8 dozers, 5 water tenders. And basically, they were hand crews and dozers were working in the areas around Mount Wilson and Mount Harvard as the fire has grown significantly west. And that's exactly what we saw. they did say that in Monrovia, they've made some good progress and they've stopped the fires. And so that's what we're hoping, is that as these fires start moving in and they start coming to these areas, just like in Monrovia, they were able to stop the fires. Back here, it's hard to because of the terrain. But now, as it gets closer here, the fire crews can actually, the personnel can actually help stop that. Also, going up to Mount Wilson, Mount Harvard, there's a Mount Wilson road that goes through here. And these fire roads and trails are ways that the firefighters can actually access and get up to those areas to try to create a defensible line. If it gets down in here, it's going to be the neighborhoods right along that line there. So hope you guys stay safe. Try not to freak out. Just be ready, know what's important that you need to take with you, and keep our fingers crossed, and this should all work out well. The fires can move up in this area, burn away that wood, that litter that needs to be eliminated, and then perhaps in the next 30 years we can rest a little bit more comfortably. All right, so take care and God bless.